my Xpress H20 aluminum boat build with bass boat modifications, viewers asked about my transducer installation. Here's how I set them up. Product details in the description, as well as a link to the full walkthrough video.
So you can see the way I have my transducer set up. I actually have two. This is a GT8 and a GT36 over here. You have two different options. One, you can go with a 56, a GT56, install it over here, a skimmer one, so it picks up water under the hull. That'll give you all three. So that gives you traditional 2D sonar, that'll give you side and down. The only problem is that's kind of exposed out here. It's a skimmer. You need to have contact with the water when you're running so you can still keep a traditional sonar picture when you're going down the lake. The problem is that's exposed. You can see the mud on the back of this transducer. You get shallow, you get around stumps, you have a chance to take off a transducer that's about a $450 transducer, and you lose your picture and everything. So what I selected was the GT8, and this is a skimmer transducer, and it just kicks up if you hit a stump or something like that, or get shallow, and that's when you're running. So that gives you your traditional 2D sonar. And then up underneath my jack plate, this is my side and my down. That's a lot more expensive transducer. It's about a $400 transducer, and that one's protected. You can see it's up underneath the setback here, underneath the jack plate. So that's gonna be out of the way. It's gonna be hard to take it off. It still has a breakaway mount, but that's not gonna read until I drop it off plane, but that's fine to me. And then if I bump something with this and I break it, this is like a $150 transducer, I just lose that. So I feel like that's a better setup. They make a Y cable, so you have to get that Y connector, and that goes into your graph, and that'll, so you can pick up both images on your sonar unit for Garmin. And then the other thing is, if you lose 2D sonar picture, it'll happen a lot on the lake. If you bump something, you get too shallow, what happens is your 2D sonar will kind of kick up like that. You need it flat with water. What I do is carry the net in my boat, and that net handle, you can just push down on the top of it and just get the angle back. You want it so it's basically flush with the water when you're running. And if you lose signal on your 2D sonar, your traditional sonar, that's probably what happened. But anyway, to me, the best setup, go with the one skimmer transducer for traditional, and then have a separate, the GT36, which will give you side and down, versus going with one expensive skimmer transducer, that big one hanging off, the 56 here, that'll give you all three. Hope that works.